Investors' personal opinions are usually wrong. The market is almost always right. So stop fighting and arguing with the market. That was William O'Neill and How to Make Money in Stocks. May the man rest in peace. What's up, Cloud Heads, and welcome back to Clouded Stocks. I'm your host, JJ Speculation. Thanks for tuning in. This week, we're getting right to it, going into 10 different stock tickers where we're going to go through some daily charts using the basics of supply and demand to cut the bias and, like Bill was saying, show you that opinions really can be wrong. So we're going to use ancient methods like candlesticks, volume, relative strength, and oh yeah, of course, the Ichimoku Cloud, the namesake of the show, you guys. So we're going to be getting into SPY, IJR, XLE, NAIL, and SOXL to round out our ETFs. And then for stocks, we're going to do Shopify, Bros, Dutch Bros, C3AI, Unity Software, which is ticker U, RBLX, Roblox, and also GitLab. And that's a bonus round for you guys. So of course, we got to get to it that the fact that, this is not financial advice. I am not your financial advisor. This is simply for entertainment and education and the internet sensation that is JJ Speculation. So thanks so much for tuning in, you guys. And just remember that these are our own stocks that we're researching for our own investment purposes. This ain't easy. If it was, everybody would do it and be rich by now, but I truly believe that with enough time and dedication, anyone can, in fact, learn to trade. So I do believe in you, and I hope that my journey can inspire part of your journey as well. So let's get right to the show, you guys. 10 different tickers coming at you and brought to you by Chocolate Milk. Who doesn't want to have a nice, strong bone collection in their body while also enjoying a delicious, frothy beverage? In fact, right after this is done, I'm going to crack mine open. Now let's get to the show. Let's boogie. SPY. Thought I forgot about you? No way. We got the mega cap all-star rocker right here. Finally playing some catch up to QQQ. I mean, that's been the true all-star, but SPY has been second team at least. If QQQ is first team, SPY is second team. So look at this thing. We got the yearly chart. Go back to 8/16 of 2022. We got to 431.73. Today we got to 431.99. So just a few cents above, but shoot back down just like on that previous date. And we closed under 430. So maybe a rejection at that point. Let's take a closer look. So the Chiku is ripping free this trailing 26 line. So you got a nice uptrend here. Our 9-period line is also up, where you take the 9-day high and the 9-day low, you add them together, you divide them by 2. Same thing with the orange 26-period line, the 26-period high plus the 26-period low, and you divide that by 2. So you want the blue above the orange, simply to speak. You always want the shorter-term average above the longer average, and you want the price above both. So we do have that. We do definitely have that. And oh, look at this, the Ichimoku Cloud. It's blue, and the stock price is above that as well. So it's really looking nice for this thing. What we don't like to see is this guy, the little shooter, this little wick up above from the 431.99 that I previously mentioned, closing all the way down at 429.9. So we'll see what happens with SPY. Me, I'm hanging on to my hats personally and not taking on too much extra risk right here. IJR. Opposite side of the coin with the small caps. Oh, would you looky here? Escapes the cloud. Still far off of its high. Let's take a closer look. IJR. Wow, okay. So it's kind of consolidating this nice little move where it had a big candlestick shooting above this cloud, like 3 out of the last 4. Just powerful. Did have some decent volume down here as well, but the important thing for me was escaping the big red cloud of volatility. Now, it kind of looks like it might want to dip back down if it follows this path here, but we'll see if it can stay above. I mean, it's well above the 9-period line and the 26-period line, like we were just talking about with SPY. Same theories really apply on all these daily charts. You want the same technicals to line up, so to speak. So the 9's above the 26, stock price above both of those. We're out of the cloud. Up in the future here, when you take this line here, span A, we'll zoom in just a little bit more. to look at our cloud. You got span A, which is going to be the 9-period line plus the 26-period line divided by 2, plotted into the future. And then this guy, span B, the yellow line, is the 52-period high plus the 52-period low divided by 2, plotted into the future as well. So the simple way to put it, just like last week, you want this nice little blue cloud, and we're soaring above it. IJR could be starting an uptrend, possibly, but you don't want it to fall back into this guy. Maybe it dips in. The real test is if it can hold and get back above. XLE. Let's look at energy here. Energy, it could be strong when the rest of the market and growth stocks aren't necessarily as strong. So let's kind of see what's going on with energy to maybe give ourselves another clue about growth stocks and some of the things that we're mainly interested in on this show. Energy. Nothing wrong with a strong energy market and a firm bull market, which many people think that we're already starting that. We are at the technical definition of a bull market. I'm still a little cautious myself. Let's look at XLE here. So XLE, I mean, you still got this kind of negative red cloud up in the front, but it could be shooting up. It could be shooting out of this thing with just a few more positive days. It's got a lot of indecision to me. I mean, this Chiku line, from a technical perspective, is free. It did close above the price bars. Another couple days, this thing can really rip and roar above. You've got the 9 right on top of the 26, and the price is also above both, but you got a little bit of a volatile area here. So XLE, I mean, to me, that was a lot of what I was just jumbling there. To me, if the oil stocks and the energy stocks start running again, your commodities, your hedge stocks, so to speak, that's going to be a little bit of a risk off for some of the more growth stocks that I personally like to talk about on this show for my own investment interests. Moving on to nail. Put the nail in the coffin on homes and the home builder 3X daily direction? I don't think so, because this thing is roaring like a lion. How about that? 63.35. It hit the high just a few days ago on 6/7/23 here. So what was that? Just Wednesday. But it has that little wick like we had on SPY. Yeah, Gus over there is excited about that wick. We got some dogs in the background here. It's a party. So we got a little wick at 63.35, and it did shoot back down ever since that. So it couldn't quite get above. But I mean, when home builders are strong, to me that shows a strong economy. People are wanting to build more houses. People are wanting to buy more homes. That could be a good trend if we're really going to get a bull market with some legs that can actually release from the pen and keep running upwards with some decently smooth sailing. Moving on, semiconductors, SOXL, and this is another one that's leveraged to the 3 times amount. So with any of these, of course, always be cautious, always do your own due diligence, especially with stuff like NAIL and SOXL. They're different than other ETFs. They're leveraged. They're a little bit more designed for traders, day traders, swing traders, a little bit more quick flips, not your longer term investors like an SPY or an IJR or even an XLE could be if it fits your profile. Moving on, SOXL. Really a huge look into semiconductors, like I mentioned, because it is 3 times leveraged. And as you zoom in on this thing, it looks almost exactly like the AMD chart. Flip over to AMD on your own time, but it's pretty crazy. SOXL, obviously a representation of many more semiconductors than just AMD, but boom, huge power trend over here, breaking out on volume. I did adjust this line from where it was last week. I had it as a 50-day average line, moved it to a 10-day average line because I'm looking for a little bit shorter swings, day and swing trades, mainly on the day trades here. But SOXL, looking good over the last 10 days, breaking out on some huge volume just at the end of the month of May, and into June here, it's kind of been chopping around, consolidating, getting back to this 9-period line, hanging in there. Can't really shoot above, what is it, $23? Let's call it $23.50. But man, I think this thing is just consolidating and pulling back. NVIDIA, AMD, on semiconductors, been some absolute monsters in that space. So, SOXL, a healthy pullback and consolidation. There is nothing wrong with that, my friends. Let's get on to the stocks. Opify. Gosh, I love trading this one. This has been kind of an on and off one for me. Just looking to swing this thing and day trade this thing quite a bit. But what a beautiful little pullback here. Building the base, hopefully, not a lot of volume. Just kind of pulled back in after you had this high volume gap up candle. Right now, we are just above that high candle where we got that gap out on earnings. So on earnings, we got up to 59.82. Today, we were under there for just a smidge, weren't we? 59.8. Yep. And we did shoot right into that and above, which also cleared that 9-period line. So nice day for Shopify. I also like looking at the wick of this thing, which was 62.3, because 62.3 lines up with a lot of other key prices on the chart. So that's why I'm focused on this one here. You do have your 26-period line shooting up, which is going to mirror this big earnings gap. But if your 9-period line can keep shooting, hopefully we don't get that bearish cross on Shopify. And if we can clear out this little wick and clear into 62, 63, 64, I think sooner we'll be challenging 65, 54 if the consumer can stay strong and Shopify can continue to emerge as one of the liquid leaders in that space. Bless you. Bros, Dutch Bros Coffee. Oh man, one right down the street from me. This drive-thru is always absolutely pumping, so you better believe I'm at least watching what Dutch Bros Coffee is up to from a stock perspective. Got a little trend line drawn on this one. Let's get rid of that guy. Sometimes you just, connect lines on the chart, and what will be will be. Let's zoom in here. You had a huge breakout. Man, Dutch Bros, this one kind of kicked me in the butt because I was watching this thing in these few days, and that's just the nature of trading, right? It's like watching a jungle beast or something. As soon as you take your eyes off it, that's when it's leaping from the bushes. So that's exactly what happened with Dutch Bros here. Just consolidating, chopping in, boring. It was on this day here, 6-7, that I actually stopped following it and tracking it super close. What happens the next day? 6-8, boom! Explosion. Like it was drinking its own medicine from Dutch Bros. Man, fires right through the 9, fires right through the 26, but the next day, which was Friday, closes, midway through that candle, pulls back, dips into the 9, closes above. What's this thing going to do? Could consolidate a little bit, could get above this nice range. You got that huge gap from 5.9 to 5.10. It's got that huge gap to fill right in this area. I expect some moves from Dutch Bros either way. This one's very, very interesting to me. AI, C3AI. How can you not like a stock ticker that's named themselves AI to catch the whole AI mania movement? Man, that is smart. Gotta love some good marketing and PR. Look at these guys. Wow. Chiku, absolutely free on this guy. Not even near the price. Price is just riding this 9 line. That's why I think it's kind of interesting. Every time it seems to pull back to that line, it can have a big green day in between. So I like to watch this guy. It's very, very liquid. The bid is very close to the ask. You can get in, you can get out. You can watch the technical patterns, which, we usually execute those on the 15-minute, the 30-minute, and the hourly time frame. But we're always looking for the setups here on these daily charts. So that's where it all begins. AI. Look at this guy. Put in a nice wick like many of these charts today. But if it can clear that wick, it's got a lot of room to go up to 44. This thing can do a lot on the day level. That's why I think it's very, very interesting. It can be some money in your pocket when you just trade AI for the day. Moving on. Unity Software. Wow, look at this one. This one had some huge news, which, again, the news doesn't really matter because the price is the news. And you know what? It happened on the stock chart before the news came out because that's how it always works. These charts and these prices, they're not my opinion. Like Bill said in his passage in the beginning, it's only a reflection of what's happening with buyers and sellers, supply and demand, and it all shows up on these charts. So look at this day. I want to talk about demand. Boom. 6/5/23. This thing shot up like a rocket. Even though it had that huge wick, it's creating this mega activation bar. Let's zoom in onto that here. Basically, all these other bars are trapped inside of this candlestick, right? So you got some interesting wicks. You got some interesting shooters going on. Nice little range here. Very fascinating chart because the Chiku is free. We're forming a little uptrend here with the cloud. The 9 shooting up. It's above the 26. Stock price is above both. Love this chart. Unity Software creates so many games and hopefully a few dollars for us along the way. Roblox. That's another great one. Man, I was playing. I was researching this one a couple summers ago and got addicted to this little shooting game that was like a Call of Duty sort of thing. Anyways, the chart, pretty interesting one. Had a big downturn here, like so many things did, but these younger emerging IPO type companies, they can be a little bit more volatile, a little bit more wild beast on the day-to-day level. But like we've mentioned, liquidity. I do like the liquidity on this one. The bid is close to the ask. You can get in, you can get out, you can trade this thing. Look at these daily bars. Incredible. I mean, it's on a nice little pullback right now, but it could be emerging from this cloud. You know, it's still got that 9 just above, which is also right above this wick here. We're going to zoom into this formation just a bit more. Yeah, I mean, our Chiku line, it's still free. It's above the price bars. The 9 still above the 26. It's kind of interesting to me that the price is sandwiched in between both the 9 and the 26, because above this wick, it can shoot above the 9. It can shoot out of the cloud. You can get 3 or 4 of these guys in a row and really take Roblox to the chop block over here and make a couple bucks off this thing. GitLab. Giggity, GitLab. This is our last one, bonus round. Talk about an earnings gap up. Powerful stock. What do we got here? Another random trend line. Yeah, that one. I think that one was an error, actually. We're going to remove that one. Okay, look at this. Bang. Wow. Gap up on earnings. I don't even care what they said in the report. Doesn't even matter what the number said. You know what? I'm looking at the stock price because this thing flew up like a rocket ship in just one day. Closed down here, 6.5, 35.4. Next day, opened up, 45.44. So a huge $10 jump there. It's been kind of shooting up one day after that and then consolidating right in this little range here. You got a few shooters, bang, bang, and bang, 3 days in a row. If one of these days can close out and close above that high of some of these wicks, I think GitLab can be very interesting. But we're also so far away from the 9 and from the 26. A pullback could also be very orderly on this one. Wouldn't surprise anybody. Again, these are just stocks that I'm looking at for my own personal consideration. Hopefully providing you some education, entertainment, and click the like button for the internet sensation that is Clouded Stocks. We're going to wrap this thing up for you. All right, you guys, that was this week's episode of Clouded Stocks. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending some time with us. I know you have a lot of choices about what to do with your investing and trading edutainment, if you will. So thanks so much for sharing it again with us. Remember, this is always going to be free. We just want to give you guys a little taste of the trader's lifestyle, bring that to you, show you how you can maybe bring that into your house and incorporate that into your income, because we truly believe that with enough time and focus and discipline, anyone can learn to trade. Launch us a like button if you feel the same way. Share it, and remember to subscribe to our other channels. It's all at Clouded Stocks. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. Of course, here on YouTube. You could send us an email if you like. We're old school. Anyways, this is our show for this week. Shoot for the stars, and just maybe you end up above the clouds. Thanks so much, you guys. We'll see ya.